but they did win some much-needed national recognition. In fact, at one point during the afternoon, UNC Asheville was the #1 trending topic on Twitter. Carolina's biggest defensive stop did not come on the boards or on a block, but rather on the baseline. With seconds to play, John Henson swallowed up an inbounds pass, thanks in large part to his wide wingspan, which, if you go by the tail of the tape, measures up at an astounding 88 inches. Call it coincidence or call it serendipity. By whatever reasoning, basketball brought the Plumlee brothers from Fort Wayne, Indiana to the Christ School to here at Cameron Indoor Stadium, North Carolina's Hoops House of the Holy, where in only 1 year's time, Marshall, Mason, and Miles will make history, becoming the first 3 brothers to ever share the same ACC floor. Then began his near decade-long tenure in Boone, where he was essentially a renaissance man amongst Appalachian State assistant coaches. However, in Spears' career, he had never once been a head coach, much less an offensive or defensive coordinator. Something that athletic director Randy Eaton says nearly took him out of the running for this gig. That is, until Eaton's better half weighed in. North Carolina head basketball coach and Asheville native Roy Williams has a tradition that he likes to employ before big games. For the last 30 years, every time he has been close to the Mississippi River, he will get out of the team bus and literally spit into it, supposedly for good luck. Now, we had never heard of this tradition, and it sounded a little fishy to us, so we decided to head out along the mighty Mississippi to see if this ritual was for real. In the midst of a first-half South Atlantic League playoff race, the Asheville Tours didn't so much have pennant fever as they did Bieber fever. And if you step into the Taurus clubhouse, you can clearly see that these symptoms are quite severe.
From the very start of the season, we try to come up with a kind of a winning song. Whenever we win, we play a certain song after the game because that's when we're allowed to play music after a W. And we chose Never Say Never by Justin Bieber. I will never say never. The song is just says everything for this team. We never say never towards the end of the game, no matter what the score is. We had a lot of comeback victories.
This is the reason we won the first half.
And so we were able to go buy a cutout somewhere and have a mascot, so to speak.
Now, he lost his head, though, in the celebration at Greenville, right?
He did. You know, we came in and popped champagne, and the floor was nice and wet, and we gave him a tarp slide. And
I remember my first beer, too.
Yeah, he probably hadn't had many.
We're going to figure this part out of the equation, and might give him a little female companion for the second half.
Selena Gomez?
Could be.
That would make the most sense, right?
I would go Jennifer Aniston, but that's a little age difference.
Have you become a fan of his music throughout all this?
You know, I really wasn't a Justin Bieber fan until we played it on the locker room about 47 times in a row.
Would you call yourself a belieber?
I'm a belieber. And I am now.
He's coming out with the new album, Believe. You know, we're gonna give you some props, so maybe you'll send some back. Retweet us, all right, Beebs?
Never say never.
Go, nobody ain't scared. This is a no-fear zone.
Adventure, excitement, a Jedi craves not these things, but we do.
Here you go, baby. There you go. And steal your ball. It's still first down.
The force is strong with this one, but we've locked as foils in attack position, and our phasers are set to stun.
Help us, 13 News. Oh, my place is our only hope.
Number 5, Tuscola's Tyler Hyde, not looking bad for a third-string quarterback. Number 12 makes the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs as he goes 84 yards for the game-winning score against Smoky Mountain. Number 4, Mountain Heritage's Eli Buckner tries the old Jedi mind trick. Wide receiver screen and heave, but Cam Hill says this is not the receiver you're looking for. One-handed tip to himself for the INT as Hendersonville handles Heritage. Number 3. Yes, R2. North Henderson's Aaron Jenkins is fast. He goes east-west and then punch Chewy. Jenkins helps North waffle west 31-7. Number 2. Christian Jukes used to bullseye Womp Rats in his T-16 back home. The catch by Charles Beal.
Impressive.
And Christ School improves to 3-0.
Most impressive.
Number 1. We'll save the epic music for an epic game. Irwin's Austin Brown uses the force for the contest's only touchdown against Reynolds, and our top play of the week. Great kid. Don't get cocky.
A Western North Carolina native gets the feel of what Carolina basketball is all about, experiencing the hoopla of the NCAA tournament for the first time. News 13's Jared Fialko is streaming live from St. Louis this evening. So Jared, what does freshman Jackson Simmons have to say about all the excitement?
Victoria, the Smoky Mountain High School graduate, says the glitz, the glamour, the bright lights of the big dance, everything that he ever could have hoped for. Now, the part that involves him standing in a towel for 20 minutes before wading through a sea of reporters to get to his locker, yeah, he didn't count on that.
Locker rooms will open after the cooling off period, and then after with North Carolina, because they're the advancing team, we'll wait till coach and the two players come out. Once they get onto the carts, okay, then you guys will be able to move in and the locker rooms will be open for 30 minutes.
Did you ever think there were this many members of the media?
No, I thought it was just 2 or 3. I mean, I'm from Silver, North Carolina, and there's only one radio. There's a radio station where there used to be, and there's one newspaper. So I didn't think this, but it's just been a whirlwind.
Locker room's open. Someone's bullocks will be taken out eventually.
I didn't think it'd be that big of a circus. I thought we'd just practice, play, and then get on out. And just piled up. Corners are filled, people just hovering on top of each other, trying to get that little bit of a sound bite for the news or newspaper or whatever. Yeah.
I imagine you've overheard some stupid questions in this past year.
Well, there's been some questions that haven't been as good as others, but it's been fun to just hear all the different questions and some of the wacky, irrelevant questions that are asked.
On behalf of the media, I apologize then.
It goes with the territory, I guess.
Taking it all in stride, at least. And we will talk more about the #1 seeded Tar Heels matchup with #2 Kansas coming up a little later on in sports. Some new developments about the surgically repaired right wrist of one Kendall Marshall. Streaming live in St. Louis, Jared Fialko, News 13 Sports.
All right, so we're here at the start line of the Warrior Dash in beautiful Huntersville, North Carolina. It's sunny, it's hot, but the heat probably won't be the biggest deal. This waiver form.
This might be. We're signing a lot of our life away here today, Jason.
Okay, number 15, I understand that some of the obstacles may go through water, which has been tested for chemicals, but number 16, risk of wild animals, insects, and plants. I guess snakes, gators. Oh my goodness.
Sasquatches?
All right.
Sasquatch eye?
We're ready.
What did we get ourselves into?
It is the craziest freaking day of your life. A 5K obstacle course, 12 obstacles throughout.
Oh yeah!
You know, you gotta have that endurance to make that initial run, and you gotta have that body strength to get over all those obstacles.
Down the stretch we go! Woo! Higher! Higher!
A 20-foot wide, about 3-foot high flames. You know, a few singed leg hairs never hurt anyone. And of course, after that, our 20 or 80-foot long mud pit where participants get to get right in there, get under that barbed wire, and sprint towards the finish.
Hey, a lot of fun. It was tiring. Not that bad of a race. You get a little muddy, but you get these really cool medals too. That's pretty cool. Hey, we're waiting on Jared to finish any minute now, so hey.
Finish second out of 2.
Yeah, great job. Great job.
Camp Carolina continues this evening in Spartanburg. Panthers getting back on the field at Gibbs Stadium just a few minutes ago. Now, one of the new faces suiting up in Carolina colors, wide receiver Louis Murphy, who came over in a trade last Monday. Panthers brass hoping Murphy could be that #2 flanker next to Steve Smith they so desperately need. The former University of Florida teammate of Cam Newton caught 75 passes for more than 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons with the Raiders before tailing off in 2011 due to injuries.
This year I'm 100%. You know, I've always kind of played with a chip on my shoulder, and that's just my mentality. And I kind of got away from that last year and doubting myself. So this year I know what I got to do.
Practices get underway this week on the college front, including the 3-time national champions, Appalachian State. Could an Asheville native make an immediate impact for the Ears? AHS product and Shrine Bowl selection Tyshawn Holloway graduated a semester early to get a leg up on his fellow freshman in Boone. A move that definitely allowed Tyshawn to catch the eye of the year's head honcho, Jerry Moore.
First thing that impressed me about him is just his maturity and his toughness. He's a physical football player. And I think it's been great for us, for him to be there in the spring and summer.
Tomorrow, a huge day on the high school scene as prep practices officially kick off across the mountains, as do our daily previews. Call it a Mac Monday per se, as Stan spotlights the Irwin Warriors at 6 and the TC Robertson Rams at 10 and 11. Makeshift double dip for the T's. Asheville and Charleston rained out on Saturday, so the Taurus and Dogs play in 2 this afternoon. Maybe not the best day to do so, a scorcher out there at Riley Park. Taurus bats catch fire in the 3rd. Tyler Massey, teeing off, double to the gap in left center, rolls to the warning track. Trevor Story scores, 1-0 Asheville. 2 batters later, Harold Riggins doubles up. The big rig smokes one to left. Massey comes on down, makes it 2-0. Next up, Taylor Featherston, who rattles off Asheville's 5th consecutive base knock. Single to right plate Sam Mendy and Riggins, 4-0 T's. They had 5 in the 7th to take game 1, 9-0. Currently leading in the nightcap 4-1 in the 2nd, behind Story's 15th homer of the season. Brooms in hand, Bravo's trying to finish off a sweep against Philly. Atlanta gets the O going early. Top 1, Jason Hayward. See ya. Number 16 on the season. J.A. bouncing back nicely from that sophomore slump last year. A couple of innings later, an all too familiar scene. Chipper Jones tags it and bags it. Round tripper number 464 of his illustrious career. Make it 5 in a row for Atlanta. They finish Philadelphia 6-2 in Sunday's series finale. Miami visits the Ted for the first of 4 tomorrow night. Finally, after a week off, Sprint Cuppers back on the track at the Brickyard. 30 laps to go. Jimmy Johnson blows high side by Greg Biffle to take the lead. One the 5-time Cup champ would not relinquish. JJ dominant once again in Indy. No one even close to the 48 car down the stretch, nearly 5 seconds faster than the runner-up Kyle Busch. Johnson kisses the bricks for a 4th time, first to the finish at the Crown Royal 400. Perhaps the big winner of the day, though, Dale Earnhardt Jr., number 1 in the point standings.
And that kid did not want to kiss the bricks.
I don't know why. Who would want to kiss the ground, right? Well, dirty or anything.